All right. Welcome, everybody, to a live episode of Mike's Money Picks. Y'all, let's go. This is the day before Selection Sunday. It is Conference Championship weekend. We have got some incredible college basketball that is about to take place. We have got some massive slates on DraftKings and FanDuel for DFS, and we have got just a great day ahead of us. And I am so happy to be back on camera for you guys to talk about this slate. Here on this episode, we are going to break down every game that is on the DraftKings main slate, tell you what you can expect from each game, as well as who needs to be in or out of your lineups on DraftKings and FanDuel. And we are going to make sure that we hit every game, every notable player, no stone unturned, nothing left out, nothing left to chance. We're going to make sure that we get everything broken down here today for you guys. If you are watching us live, make sure, comment in the chat. Let us know. Let us know how you're feeling, or who's going to be in your lineups today, who's going to be out of your lineups today. Is there a guy you want to talk about? Is there a prop bet you want to talk about? Is there a side or total bet that you want to talk about? Let me know, because we are here live before lock. We got 2 hours before lock. I do not want to go that long because I still got to set on my lineups. But we got plenty of time, plenty of availability to talk about some great college hoops today. So y'all, if you're in the chat, join it. I see we got Ronnie. Appreciate you. Teddy, appreciate you as well. And then JC, longtime listener, glad to have you as well. Y'all, if you're in the chat, let us know. And if you like the channel, like Ronnie and Teddy and Jason, make sure you subscribe. That can be with us for our college basketball content all the way through the rest of March Madness. And hit the like button on this live stream. Helps me out a ton. Helps the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Y'all, this week's been a little weird because I told you guys previously I was going on a beach trip, right? Well, we left Tuesday afternoon-ish, like after I had gotten out of school, after we'd eaten dinner. And then by Tuesday night, I had full-blown food poisoning. So I was not in any condition to do a show Wednesday night or Thursday night. And last night we cut the beach trip a little short so that way the kids could get a full night's rest at home because they were not sleeping well at the beach house. So now I'm back at home. I'm back feeling better. I'm back talking college hoops. And I'm excited to be here. I hope you guys are also. But yeah, so I apologize for the lack of content this week, but just know that was the story. And I do plan on going, doing something for the Selection Sunday games. So tonight, whether it's a recorded episode or whether it's a live, we are going to have something for those games. And then tomorrow night, I do want to do a live stream as well. We're going to do a Selection Sunday live reaction, as well as we're going to do some underdog drafts because underdog has opened up the tournament run. And once we have a bracket, it makes a lot more sense to draft that. We'll talk strategy. We'll talk players. We'll talk all the ins and outs of underdog drafts. So yeah, that's the plan for the rest of the weekend. Let's go ahead now and dive into this slate. Now we've got 7 games on the DraftKings main slate. FanDuel is a little bit bigger because FanDuel involves the night games. And FanDuel actually has some really good prize pools out there today. So play college basketball DFS on FanDuel, y'all. I actually had a really good day. Took down the $2 tournament on FanDuel yesterday, which was nice. I see we got Ronnie in the chat also saying he's starting his lines with Acuff. Just hold on to that thought because we're going to talk a lot about Darius Acuff. All right, so game number 1, Dayton and St. Louis in the Atlantic 10. The A10 semifinals. These are going to be 2 pretty good games today. Have a potential for a bid stealer in the A10 because Dayton and St. Joe's are still alive, whereas St. Louis and VU, it does very much look like both of those teams are going to hear their name called tomorrow night. KenPom has this game as 78-72 in favor of the Billikens. However, both of these games so far this season have been blowouts in favor of the home team. St. Louis dropped 100 on Dayton at their place. Dayton got revenge later in the season as they won 77-62 in UD Arena. That game was not that close. I have a bet on Dayton to cover the spread in this game. Dayton is in a spot where they had a ton of injuries in the middle portion of the season, one of which was that St. Louis game, and they're fully healthy now. And they're a really good team when they're fully healthy. And so I think this is actually a pretty good spot for Dayton. In terms of DFS on the Dayton side, everything's got to start with Emile Latong, their French 7-footer. He is a matchup problem in the A10 because of everything he can do on the perimeter and his skill as tall as he is. He's $7,800. Yesterday against the Bonnies, he only played 23 minutes. He got in major first half foul trouble. He only shot 4 for 15 from the field. Not great. Still put up 35 DraftKings points. Y'all, when you can put up a fantasy point and a half per minute on 30% shooting, that's pretty impressive. Like, this is a guy who can just rack up fantasy points in bunches. And then, oh, by the way, the previous 2 times they played, put up 52 DraftKings points at home, put up 29 in the blowout loss on the road where he only played 18 minutes. So pretty much the 2 games that he's played St. Louis, he's well over 1.5 fantasy points per minute. So to me, that makes Letang a really interesting play. The downside is that he can get in foul trouble. We saw this with Rafael Castro yesterday. Robbie Avila on the other side, he's kind of a foul baiter. He really looks to draw fouls. And so I actually think one of Dayton's adjustments in this game is I don't think they're going to put Letang on Avila. I think what they want to do with Letang is have him be able to play help. Because he's a really good shot blocker, really good rim protector, and Dayton likes to switch on screens. And so what I think Dayton's going to do is just put Letang on one of the corner sitters, like a Sharma or a Brady Dunlap or an Otieno, so that way he can play help and not have to guard Avila on ball a lot. I think they will have Jayon Simon guard Avila on ball. So let's go ahead and talk about Simon. He is kind of like the glue guy for this team. He's playing a ton of minutes. He's not really a high usage player, but he's a guy that makes a lot of winning plays. He's going to play a lot of minutes. I would be more interested in him if he were still like at his $3K salary spot. Now that he's 4,900, he's a little bit tougher of a click. Javon Bennett is the guy who really carried Dayton offensively yesterday against the Bonnies. Played 38 minutes, 8 for 12 from the field. Just electric in that game. Put up about 40 DraftKings points. Previous game against St. Louis, he put up 34. Y'all, I think this is a very intriguing game stack in GPPs, and I think if you do that, you got to look to stack Javon Bennett. You're talking about a 23% usage guy, 19% assist guy who is playing his best basketball right now and played very well against St. Louis earlier in the season. I think he's an interesting click at 7,500. Deshane Montgomery, if you've ever watched Dayton play, he's got a lot of J.R. Smith in him, has some dumb turnovers, has some dumb possessions, but he's going to play a ton of minutes. He has a ton of steal upside, and St. Louis is a team that turns the ball over quite a bit because they don't really have a true point guard. And I think Montgomery's a guy that he's very much worth a GPP look at 7,200. Jordan Durkak is another glue guy that just makes a ton of things happen. He also has an insane foul rate, or fouls drawn rate, I should say. He goes to the line a lot. Yesterday against St. Bonaventure, he put up 27 DraftKings points, took 12 free throws, only needed 22 minutes to do that. He's playable at $5,700. Keontae Jones, another guy that not a high usage guy for them, 15% on the season, plays a ton of minutes, really versatile defender, can really put up peripheral stats. 22 DraftKings points last time they played SLU. To me, all these guys are playable for Dayton because they play such a short rotation. And with St. Louis ranking 23rd nationally in tempo, you're going to see a lot of possessions in this one. You're going to see a lot of opportunities for Dayton to score DraftKings points. I really like Letang. Now let's go to St. Louis. So they're really frustrating because they play a massive bench. No one player on this team plays more than 67% of the minutes. And if I'm doing the quick math in my head, that's about 27 minutes a game. So you're just not getting max minutes out of these guys very often. However, conference tournament setting, win or go home setting, are you going to get more out of some of these guys? Possibly. Robbie Avila yesterday played 30 minutes against George Washington, put up 35 DraftKings points. He struggled against Dayton, though. 19.5 and 19.5. Very consistent the 2 times that they've played this season. Avila or Letang has his number, y'all. So I'm not really all that interested in going for Avila here. He just hasn't really had a great career against Dayton. They've really kind of had his number. Amari McCautry is their usage leader on the season, about a 25% usage guy. He is very prone to foul trouble. He will foul the crap out of you. If you've ever watched St. Louis play, you know this is true. That's kind of what got him yesterday against George Washington. 2 first-half fouls and only played 16 minutes. Y'all, there's no use in being the highest usage player if you're not going to be on the floor. And so that's a little bit alarming. I don't know if I'm going to go to him. The guys that did play all the minutes yesterday were Avila playing 30. You got 30 out of Ishan Sharma off the bench out of nowhere. I thought that was intriguing. He put up 23 DraftKings points. Is that a sign of things to come? I mean, maybe he's only $4,400. If you're playing enough lineups, I could understand putting him in your player pool. And then you also got 28 minutes out of Deion Brown and Trey Green. Deion Brown, I mean, he's okay at $5,600. Like he's not like this high upside guy that's gonna like just randomly like drop 30 DraftKings points. Put up 25 last time they played Dayton, but he's not really my cup of tea. Trey Green is going to be very popular. He's going to project very well. My only complaint with Trey Green, and this has been my complaint with him all season long, is he's so shot dependent. He does not rebound the ball. Well, he's tiny, so that makes sense. But he's a point guard that doesn't get assists. He has an 11% assist rate. And so I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to chase yesterday and go after, the 33 DraftKings point performance. He's going to project well. Like if you're a subscriber to a site that does projections, he's going to be one of the top value plays. To me, he kind of looks like a fade to me. The previous game against Dayton, he was 0 for 5 from 3, put up 2 DraftKings points. However, if you want to make the counterpoint, he went 7 for 10 from 3, put up 38 DraftKings points the other time they played. So wide range of outcomes for a guy that's probably going to project pretty well. And then with Kellen Thames off the bench, he's like their best player. And he never plays big minutes. It's really frustrating. I played him a lot yesterday, and I was pretty satisfied with 27 DraftKings points. But, like, I'm watching that game, and it's like, bro, why is he not on the floor? Like, I don't know why he doesn't play more. So if your thinking is, well, conference tournament, win or go home, they need this game for their resume, is Kellen Thames going to play 25-plus minutes? I think there's a possibility. Last time out against Dayton, he played 27, put up 36 DraftKings points. Thames is going to be in my player pool today. So there you go. There you have it for game number 1. And I see we got Jason Miller in the chat. Absolutely, my guy. Happy to be on here doing a show today. Didn't get to do it last night because we were traveling. And so very happy to be on here before lock, breaking it down. All right, game number 2 is an intriguing one. Vanderbilt taking on Florida in the SEC semifinals. Ken Pom has this one 83-77 in favor of the Gators. That is a 160-point total. The last time these two teams played, it was 98-94 in favor of the Gators in Memorial Gym. Big reason why this game is projected to be so high scoring is the tempo that the teams play at. Vanderbilt's 77th, Florida's 24th, and they're really good offenses. Florida is 11th nationally in offensive efficiency. Vanderbilt is 8th. So let's talk about Vanderbilt. So yesterday, it was the Duke Miles show. Just domination yesterday against Tennessee by Duke Miles. 11 for 14 from the field, 52 DraftKings points. He's been in and out of the lineup with injuries, but I think we can say he's back, y'all. Like, he's all the way back. The last time out against Florida, put up 28.5 DraftKings points on 5 for 15 from the field. That's not that great of a percentage. I don't mind going back to him here, $7,400. Like, sometimes with these conference tournaments, and there's going to be a guy we talk more about this with later, sometimes in these conference tournaments, ride the hot hand. And right now, he's the hot hand for Vanderbilt. I got no problem going back to him. Tyler Tanner, I'd never have any complaints. Like we talked about this in the Discord before. Like, there's sometimes where guys just play a guy, and like I'd never complain about them, like or say anything bad about like playing a guy. Tyler Tanner's one of the guys. Like, you want to play Tyler Tanner at $9,100, I ain't going to criticize you at all. He's just a super consistent performer, has the ball in his hands a ton. Yesterday, took 12 shots, had 25% usage rates, about on par with where he's at on the season. And previous game against Florida, put up 35. I got no problem with that at $9,100. Does he have as much upside as some of the other 9K plays on this slate? Probably not, but I got no problem with it. Like, I got no complaints. The bigs for Vanderbilt is where this gets a little frustrating, though. So we'll start with Tyler Nickel, even though he's not a big. He's a wing. Ever since Duke Miles has came back, he's been useless in DFS. I'm not playing Tyler Nickel. A.K. Okereke. Very enigmatic player. 2 for 14 yesterday against Tennessee. He's 6'7". Yeah, I know. I said it. I probably shouldn't have gone there. He's 6'7". Florida, front line, 6'9", 7 foot, 7 foot. I don't think this is a great matchup for him. Previous game against Florida, played 30 minutes, which is pretty high for him. Put up 20 DraftKings points. Not really here for it. Devin McLaughlin. Really struggled yesterday with foul trouble. Has really been kind of useless since Duke Miles got back to the lineup, and he hasn't been one of the primary offensive options. Not doing it. Jalen Washington, I kind of get, though. So he comes off the bench. You're unlikely to get more than like 25 minutes out of Jalen Washington, but they need size in this game. And he's about all the size they got. In the previous game against Florida, put up 23.8 DraftKings points. Y'all, we will take that at a salary of $4,600. Yesterday against Tennessee, really tough matchup. 26 DraftKings points. We will take that at $4,600. This is a guy that's definitely going to be in my player pool. Like, just no bones about it. He's going to be in my player pool. They're going to need his size. They're going to need him to play minutes. And he's cheap. Like, yeah, could he end up fouling out of this game in 16 minutes and not giving you a whole lot? Absolutely. That's within the range of outcomes. But if you're playing GPPs, you're going to need to find some guys that can go for 5X plus. He's a guy that can do that at $4,600. So I'm going to be playing me some Jalen Washington. Now, on the Florida side, I love watching this Florida team, but they're kind of annoying in DFS. Like, I'm saying the quiet part out loud here. Like, they're kind of annoying in DFS. And the reason why is because you never know which one of them is going to go off, and they're all expensive. So it's just annoying, right? Condon yesterday was the KenPom player of the game. Played 36 minutes, 26% usage rate, which led the team 41.5 DraftKings points against Kentucky. Great job, Condon. What'd you do last time against Vanderbilt? Well, you got in foul trouble. You only played 29 minutes. You put up 29 DraftKings points. $8,800. I think if you're playing the mini max today, if you're playing 150 or if you're playing a 20 max, I got no problem with putting Condon in your pool. I don't think if you're playing one or two lineups, you can go there, though. This is on paper a really good matchup for Condon. This is on paper a really good spot for Condon, but it didn't work out the last time, and he's really expensive off of a ceiling performance. Thomas Houck, 32 DraftKings points yesterday, which was actually kind of a disappointment, but he was 1 or 2 rebounds away from a double-double, was only 2 for 9 from the field, which is not his normal MO. And he's been super consistent. He's been over 32 DraftKings points in the last 4 games he hasn't gotten hurt. So the other one that I would look at is the last game against Vanderbilt, put up 31. Vanderbilt has no natural matchup for Thomas Houck. So I think this is a spot where he could certainly take advantage, and I have got no problem going to Thomas Houck at $8,400. No problem going there. The other guy that I will mention, the third of the Holy Trinity of Florida front court players, Ruben Chinyelu. He's been kind of quiet lately. Only 23 and 24 DraftKings points in the last 2. But this is one of the best rebounders in the entire country. Literally, he has a combined 50% rebound rate. And if that sounds absurd, it is absurd. He is the 5th best offensive rebounder in the country, the 2nd best defensive rebounder in the country. Insane statistic. Vanderbilt, not a good rebounding team. What did he do last time against Vanderbilt? 31 minutes played, 42.5 DraftKings point. Only needed 9 shots to get there. I think this is, on paper, this is a Chinyelu spot, y'all. Whoops, I accidentally clicked a button there. On paper, this is a Chinyelu spot. Like, the Florida bigs, you never know which one it's going to be. Like, I say all this, and it could very well end up being a Alex Condon game again. But on paper, it looks like a Chinyelu spot to me. The 2 guards, they've really started playing well lately. Xavier Lee and Boogie Fland. Lee, super consistent performer. He's been over 27 DraftKings points in the last 6 games. That's solid. What did he do last time against Vanderbilt? Had his best game of the season offensively, 32 DraftKings points in that game. I got no problem going with Xavier Lee in this one, and I think that this game is a really sneaky game stack. Boogie Fland has not been as involved with offense as of late, but he did take 13 shots yesterday against Kentucky. The downside is he only made 3 of them. He's down here at $6,300. He's going to be by far the lowest owned of the Florida starting 5. And so you get a guy as talented as Boogie Fland at low ownership at a decent price tag. I got no problem playing him. I don't know if he's for me, but I got no problem going there. All right, next game up. And I'm going to take a quick breather here. I'm going to take a sip of my Mountain Dew. I went and got Bojangles for breakfast this morning. If you're from the South, Bojangles is like a staple. So I got my Mountain Dew here. And we're moving on to game number 3. So if you're watching, you're in the chat. Let us know. Is there a guy you want to talk about? Is there a guy you're going to be getting in your lineups or out of your lineups today? Let us know, because we're here for you guys, give you guys all the information you need in order to build your DFS lineups. All right. Next game up, we got Wisconsin taking on Michigan. If you're looking to stack one game today, this is my game that I want to stack. Period. Wisconsin, Michigan. KenPom has it as the highest total of the day at 163 points. KenPom has it as 87-76 in favor of the Wolverines. The last time these two teams played, it was 91-88 Badgers. So we've seen this game be played, and it featured 179 points scored. It's projected 163. It could absolutely get there again. Big reason why. These are two of the fastest teams in the Big Ten. These are two really good offenses. Wisconsin is going to take a ton of threes. So this game could really shoot out. And I think that there's a pretty good chance it does. Let's talk about the Wisconsin side first. So on the Wisconsin side, they played Illinois yesterday, went to overtime, and you pretty much know what you're getting from Wisconsin at this point, right? Nolan Winter, probably not going to play. If he did, I would be shocked. Like, you got an NCAA tournament to worry about where you're a team that could maybe win 2 games and make it to the Sweet 16. I would not chance it by playing Winter in this game if I were the coach. That's just me. But you know what you're going to get from them with Winter being out. Boyd and Blackwell, 2 guards, are going to play one literal crap ton of minutes. Yesterday, they both played more than 40 in the overtime game. Boyd put up 58.8 DraftKings points against Illinois. Big reason why: 5 boards, 6 assists, 3 steals, in addition to 38 points scored, right? He led the team in usage. Blackwell took up 17 shots, 31 points, less rebounds and assists than his buddy, but still had 42 DraftKings points. The last time Wisconsin and Michigan played, it was a Blackwell game. 8 for 14 from the field, 44 DraftKings points. Both of these guards are very, very playable. And the question is, can you play both of them in the same lineup? I say yes. You are required to have a high-scoring game if you think that that's going to succeed. But like I said, this is the highest total of the day according to KenPom. The last time these two teams played, 179 points scored. So you can absolutely play both Boyd and Blackwell in the same lineup. They absolutely can both get there, because there's just, with Winter being out, there's just such a usage vacuum towards these two guys, and they're going to play all of the minutes. And you want to attack Michigan on the perimeter. Let's be honest. You don't want to go down there and take shots against the Dymar at the rim. You crazy? So I think Boyd and Blackwell taking jumpers on the perimeter, that's what's going to happen. So I really like both of them here in this game. Both of them are going to make the player pool. Probably going to have a game stack line with both of them together. And another thing, too, if you do play both of them together, play some guys on the Michigan side, because if you play both of them together, you're going to need the game to shoot out. If the game doesn't shoot out and you play both of them together, you are screwed. So you need to play somebody on the Michigan side if you're playing both of them together. I digress. The other guards they're going to play for Wisconsin, Rhodey is kind of their peripheral stat wing. Hasn't been great in the Big Ten tournament, but he's playing a ton of minutes. $4,000. Last time these two teams played, 4 DraftKings points. That's not encouraging. But he's going to play a ton of minutes. Braden Carrington, guard that comes off the bench. They really only play him when Boyd or Blackwell gets in foul trouble, or if they get mad at Rhodey. And Rhodey hasn't been playing bad enough to get mad at, apparently. So I'm not really a Carrington guy at $4,400. Now, for the 2 bigs that they're going to play, and there are only 2 of them, it's Rapp and Bielauskas, right? Rapp is probably going to see generally more usage, generally more shots, but he's a little more volatile. I think at least 26 DraftKings points against Illinois. Previous game against Michigan. Did he play that game? Hold on. Am I missing something? Let me go double check that. Maybe he didn't play that game. Correct. He did not play that game. Interesting. So, yeah. So we don't know what's going to happen there. Bielauskas did play in that game. I remember this one specifically. He He put up 23 DraftKings points at a salary of $4,000 in that game, played 32 minutes. Big reason why they won that game was he went 5 for 10 from three. If you are Wisconsin, you need your bigs to make threes to pull Michigan's away from the basket. And so Rapp and Bielawskis going to be huge in this game. They're going to get a lot of looks. They're really cheap. I'm going to be playing lineups with them as well. Would you play both of them in the same lineup? I don't think I would do that. But I do think that both of them are very, very viable. And I think that their style of play is a little bit of a matchup issue for Michigan. So I'm definitely going to be playing both of them. You just got to hope and pray that they stay out of foul trouble. Now let's go to the Michigan side. So Michigan had a little bit of a test yesterday against Ohio State. That game stayed close for quite a while. So I really think that Michigan, knowing that they lost to Wisconsin in the regular season, knowing that they got tested a little bit yesterday, I could see them coming out and really, really shining today. I could see it. That's why this game does have me a little bit nervous, but I think if you're trying to win a GPP in DraftKings, I think this is your game to stack. So on the Michigan side, let's talk about what we learned yesterday, because we learned a lot. This team's still trying to figure out how to deal with not playing with LJ Kaysen, right? One of the most obvious things that they could have done with no LJ Kaysen was just play Elliot Cadeau all of the minutes. And it's exactly what they did yesterday. He played 36 minutes, put up 32 DraftKings points against Ohio State. Y'all, Elliot Cadeau, because of how much he does in the periphery, right? Decent rebounder, 34% assist rate, 19% shot rate, which is okay. Because of all he does statistically, if he plays 36 minutes, he could really, really give us a really good number here. And so I'm going to be going back to Cadeau for sure at $6,300. Last time they played, he put up 27 DraftKings points in 25 minutes. It's pretty good, y'all. So I'm going to be going back to Cadeau. I will also continue banging the drum for Roddy Gale. This is like one of my flag plants here late in the season is when LJ Kaysen got hurt, I was the guy that was saying, hey, it's going to be Roddy Gale, y'all. He has point guard experience from his time at Ohio State. He has been playing more minutes in that backup point guard role since Kaysen has gotten hurt, and he's been pretty good, right? 17 DraftKings points against Iowa in a really slow game, 28 against Michigan State, 14 yesterday against Ohio State. That's not a great number, but you look deeper, he played 20 minutes, which is more than what he was in the regular season. He had a 23% usage rate, which is what we like to see, and he was just 1 for 6 from the field. If he just makes 2 more shots, he could absolutely deliver us a good number here today at a salary of only $4,300. So both those Michigan guards, Cadeau and Gale, going to make my lineups. People are going to go after McKinney and Burnett because for some reason everybody thought that it was going to be Burnett that was going to be the big beneficiary of the Kaysen injury. Kind of same deal with McKinney. I really think that it's Gale. So Gale's going to be my guy. If you do play Burnett or McKinney, I wouldn't for it. Like they're cheap. They're going to play in the best game environment of the day. They're going to play 20 plus minutes, but I'd rather have Gale. Now let's talk about the Michigan bigs. Wisconsin has no matchup for Yaxel, y'all. They just don't. They have no matchup for Yaxel. I don't know how they're going to guard him at all. And what I really like to see is that Yaxel has played 34 minutes or more in the last 4 games. That was kind of a big concern with him through Big Ten play, was like they were playing all these blowouts and he wasn't playing major minutes. Now he is. And yesterday, he only put up 24 DraftKings points. That's a little bit disappointing. He only took 4 shots. That's really disappointing. But he's still Yaxel. He's still a matchup nightmare. He's still one of the top pay-up options on the slate to me. Merez Johnson, 7,400. This is the one of the Michigan bigs that I tend to find myself playing the least in DraftKings. And it's no disrespect to Merez, but it's just kind of like a natural squeeze where like he's not as high usage of a player of a Daimara. He isn't as like prolific of a scorer Axel. And he's kind of the most prone to foul trouble out of any of them. So I'm not playing him a ton. Maybe that's wrong of me. Maybe it's not. He's $7,400. He's really only delivered 1 score that would hurt you if you faded him in the last month, and it was a revenge game against Illinois. The last time these two teams played, he played 30 minutes, put up 29 DraftKings points. That's okay. I think I would rather play Mara. I think Mara has a really wide range of outcomes, though. And let me tell you why. So Mara is a guy that plays a very specific style because he is really, really big, in case you didn't know. He plays really close to the rim defensively. They do not like bringing him out of the perimeter. And offensively, they do a lot of stuff through him. So what has been the case with Mara, and I've said this all season long, I've been banging this drum all season long, he doesn't play a lot of minutes. And so he's a guy that his usage and his defensive ability gives him the upside to put up legitimately 30-plus DraftKings points in 18 minutes, right? And if he were to ever have a game where he were to play 25-plus minutes, he could break a slate. So to me, the most noteworthy stat that came out of Michigan yesterday was Mara playing 28 minutes. And now he put up 32.8 DraftKings points. That's pretty good, right? But if Adai Mara is all of a sudden going to be a 30-plus minute player, this is a guy that could go for 50-plus DraftKings points. And we have seen the interior of Wisconsin get kind of eaten up the last two games. Hannes Steinbach went for north of 50 DraftKings points. David Mirkovic yesterday went off against him. So I think Mara, GPP only, because I don't know if they're going to want him stepping out on the perimeter to defend Rapp and Bielauskas. GPP only has a ton of upside to me, and he's going to be in my player pool for sure at $7,300. All right, 3 games down, 4 games to go. I see we got some new people in the chat. Brandon, thank you for joining. Yeah, it was not near death, but it was a very unpleasant Tuesday night through about Wednesday afternoon where I didn't really eat much of anything. I was just kind of doing the bare minimum in terms of taking care of the kids and not really doing a whole lot else. It was not a fun few days, but it was I wouldn't say it was near death. All right. Anyway, moving on to game number 4. This is one I have a personal attachment to, y'all. This is my alma mater. This is the Charlotte 49ers in the semifinals of the American Hat Tournament. We are 80 minutes away from the first NCAA tournament berth in probably 20 years. And I am so excited to watch this one. I'm so looking forward to it. Now, the downside is that Charlotte is now going up against the absolute juggernaut of the American, South Florida. KenPom has it as 83-72 South Florida. These two teams played on the last day of the regular season in Tampa, and South Florida won on senior day 83-60. Charlotte really came out strong in that game, and then South Florida responded with just a flurry of 3-pointers, and it was kind of over at the start of the second half. So let's talk about Charlotte. So I watched this Charlotte team a lot, y'all. There's insider knowledge here. Like I don't know anybody in the program anymore, but I watched this team a ton, and I know how Aaron Fern operates. And this team has got a deep bench. They've got a lot of guys, but what tends to happen is Fern will really kind of figure out as the game goes on what matchups he likes, who needs to be on the floor, who needs to not be on the floor, right? Like just he'll really figure out as the game goes on who his 5 are. And then by the time that you get to about the 12-minute mark of the second half, he's going to play that 5 the entire rest of the game and run them into the ground if they've been playing the whole game. So if you figure out who that 5 is going to be for Charlotte, you're going to get a ton of minutes. You're going to get a ton of DraftKings points. So the UAB game, right? They started, well, I'll just go through the starters first. They started Dezane Mingo, Ben Bradford, right? Arden Conyers at the 3, Jarnay Alona Iyenga at the 4, and then Anton Bonk at the 5. The end game 5 was Mingo and Bradford in the backcourt, Damani Harrison joining them in the backcourt, Spencer Elliott at the 4, and then Anton Bonk at the 5. So how does that play into this game? Well, let's talk about the top first. Anton Bonk is their big man. He's 7'2". He is massive. He is also a really good nimble athlete for 7'2". He's not the most coordinated, like skilled basketball player, But when you watch him move, he doesn't move like a 7-2 guy. He moves pretty well. He's $8,000. Against South Florida, he only played 29 minutes, which is about on par with his average. Put up 29 DraftKings points. So the problem is with him, he's going to be going up against Isaiah Nelson. He's going to have a size advantage. Both of them love to foul. So the question is going to be who fouls who first. If Bonk is able to stay out of foul trouble, Bonk is going to be in very good shape in this game, in my opinion, because he's going to end up playing a lot of minutes. He's going to get a decent amount of looks. They run a lot of stuff through him. They use him in ball screens a lot because, I mean, he's just so huge, you have to get around the screen, right? So I do like Bonk at $8,000. He's in my GPP player pool. Mingo has carried them on his back in this American Athletic Tournament. Just literally. He's only started the last 5 games last 6 games because of Major Freeman getting hurt. But what it's caused them to learn, like, oh, this is our guy. This is our best player. This is the guy who the ball is going to be in his hands. Both of the games in the American Athletic Tournament, he's played more than 35 minutes. He's had a 35% usage rate in both of them. He's taken 17 shots in both of them. He's taken 7 or more free throws in both of them. If you like all of those statistics a lot, let me enlighten you on the ones that will really catch your eye. Almost a triple-double against Tulane, 52 DraftKings points. 35, a new career high, against UAB, 50 DraftKings points. He has literally put the entirety of Niner Nation on his back and carried them through 2 rounds of the tournament, and I'm hoping he can do it twice more. And we talked about this yesterday in my article from my core plays. Check that out on Patreon, by the way. If you want to know the core plays, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/Mike'sMoneyPicks. And Alex Williams of Duquesne, we talked about him, how when you have a guy that sometimes just is the hot hand in conference tournament week, teams ride the hot hand for better or worse. Charlotte's going to ride with Dezane Mingo, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a ton. He's going to play a ton of minutes. Big time pace up against South Florida, and he's going to have a ton of opportunities at $6,900 to put up a slate breaking caliber score. The downside, the last time they played South Florida, like I said, it was a blowout. He only played 24 minutes. He only put up 18.5 DraftKings points. But I think, like, you have nothing to hold back here. You're Charlotte. You don't make the NCAA tournament if you don't win the next 2 games. So no matter what the score is, they're going to run Mingo into the ground. And he's $6,900. And if he puts up 50, he's going to be a guy you had to have. So he's going to make my lineups. Ben Bradford has been their best player through the entirety of the season. 26% usage rate. Really solid guard. Doesn't do a ton in the peripherals, but just really solid player, right? He's still been solid in this tournament as well. 43 and 25 DraftKings points in those last 2. Played 33 and 37 minutes. The only game in his last 7 that was bad was the USF game. Again, because they got blown out, he only played 22 minutes. So if he sees full minutes, he's going to put up a good score as well. If you're really like a GPP, like leverage bro, that factors in ownership and leverage and all that, Bradford is your clear leverage over Mingo, who's going to be highly owned. Because if Mingo does not have a good game, Bradford probably will. Bradford's still been their second best player in this tournament. He's only $6,400. Damani Harrison came off the bench, played a ton of minutes in the UAB game, did the same thing in the Tulane game as well. He's $5,100. He's not bad. Problem is he doesn't give you a whole lot of peripherals. He just doesn't. You'd be reliant on him having a really good game from 3, which he can have. He's probably their best catch and shoot 3-point player. On the season, 42%. It's pretty good. Arden Conyers, 3-and-D wing. He starts. If they don't need his defense, he doesn't play a whole lot. So I'm not super interested in 4,500. Spencer Elliott's a guy that played a ton yesterday. He's going to make my player pool. He played a ton against Tulane the day before as well. Played 30 minutes in both those games. So he's a power forward that is a really versatile defender, really versatile offensive player as well. Hasn't had the best season. It's been a little up and down. Moved in and out of the starting lineup. Now he's coming off the bench, but he's playing more minutes. So I'm going to go back to him at $4,300. He's just a playable value play here on this slate. All right, the USF side. Y'all, we've seen USF. If you played every single DraftKings slate this season like I have, we've seen USF a ton. And they're a team that I enjoy actually watching them play basketball, but they're very annoying for DFS. And the reason why is, well, okay, let's let's bury the lead a little bit. Isaiah Nelson is not super annoying. He just gets in a lot of foul trouble. So last game against Charlotte, with it being a blowout and him picking up a few fouls, he only played 19 minutes. But if he stays out of foul trouble, he could absolutely put up 40-plus DraftKings points. And this is a cheaper price tag than what we've seen from him pretty much in the last 2 months of the year, right? So I don't mind $9K for Isaiah Nelson. He's worth a look to me. The problem is with this team, though, in DFS, and what's made them super annoying is their guards. You never know which one it's going to be. And when you look at their season-long numbers on KenPom, it doesn't help you because pretty much all of them are between 18 and 24% usage. Pretty much all of them don't really rebound. Only one of them gets assists. And you don't really know how the minutes are going to shake out either. Wes Enos is probably the best one. He killed Charlotte the last time they played. 39 DraftKings points in that game. He's $8,300 now, though. I would personally rather play like a Boyd or a Blackwell than to spin this roulette of South Florida guard and play Wes Enos. Joseph Pinion, transfer from Arkansas and then Arkansas State. Like, this is a former high major player. 37 DraftKings points last time against Charlotte. 5 for 12 from 3. But again, like, I would just kind of rather play other guys that I know I'm not playing roulette with, right? Josh Omajifo, only 16 DraftKings points against Charlotte. He plays a ton of minutes, so he's $300. CJ Brown is the one that actually does get assists. He's been battling an injury, though, but the good news is like, it's been like 2 weeks. So if you're not healthy now, bro, like, why weren't you sitting out those games? Why were you trying to play through it? Play 29 minutes against Charlotte, which again was a little bit of a blowout. 25 DraftKings points. He's $6,200. This is a guy who's going to make my player pool. He has a 31% assist rate, 24% usage rate. That's solid, right? Like, he plays a ton of minutes usually. Like, this injury he's been dealing with has caused a little bit of an irregularity, but he plays with a high usage rate, gets a ton of assists, plays a ton of minutes. Dip in price because the game log is pretty ugly, which means I think it's a great time to go right back to him at $6,200. And then after that, Isaiah Jones has randomly started playing a lot of minutes. I don't really fully understand it. He's kind of taken Damian Collins' role. They will play him and Nelson together. I don't know, man. He's 4K. You could do worse. All right, we got 3 games to go. This one probably not going to spend as much time on as the other 4, because with these other 4, we've had some really intriguing real-life basketball games, as well as a team that I know a lot personally about in Charlotte. Can't really say that as much about this one. We got St. Joe's taking on VCU. KenPom has it projected to be 78-70 in favor of VCU. That's a 148-point total, which is one of the lower ones on the slate, but it's still not bad by any means. These two teams have played once this season. VCU won 79-72, and that game was in the Siegel Center, the home of the Rams. Nobody really went off in that game, except for maybe Brandon Jennings of VCU and Derek Simpson of St. Joe's. So Derek Simpson is $7,500. If you're playing cash, to me, he's like a really steady cash game option. It's $7,500. He sees a big usage rate, right? 23% on the season, 23% shot rate, 30% assist rate on the year. Consistently hitting 30 DraftKings points pretty much every time out. Playing a ton of minutes. I got no problem playing him at $7,500. And I think that VCU is an attackable spot for him. Other than that, St. Joe's recently has been at a spot where they have been starting Jaden Glover Toscano at $6,400. He's another guy who's been a pretty consistent performer, pretty high usage player. Him and Simpson actually tied for the team lead in usage rate the last game out against Davidson. So I don't mind going there either. And really, that's kind of the main spot I have interest in for St. Joe's. Justice Ajibor is their big. He, through a lot of the season, had not been doing a whole lot, but now he's playing 30-plus minutes in the last 4 games. Last 2 games, he's been at 26 and 27 DraftKings points. VCU is not like this elite front court defense. So I don't mind the idea of going there at only $5,300. Like, to me, he's a playable value piece. Now, the VCU side, Lazar Djokovic is their highest priced player. He is probably their best all-around player. In the game against Duquesne, he was a little bit of a disappointment. Only took 8 shots, only put up 17 DraftKings points. I mean, he's an okay play at $7,000. I don't think this is the best spot for him. The last time these two teams played, he only played 23 minutes. He only put up 18 DraftKings points. That's not really what we're looking for. Terrence Hill Jr., I never play him because he comes off the bench. Like, I just really struggle to play a guy that's over $6,000 on DraftKings and comes off the bench. Even though he does play a ton of minutes, even though he is the team usage leader, about 25% on the season, I just really struggle grappling with that because, what if one game the starters run really good and they just don't want to play him? Like, that can happen. Brandon Jennings is one of the starting guards at $6,100. He had a really good game against them last time, 30 DraftKings points, 27 and 28 in his last 2. He's a really good perimeter defender. And so with St. Joe's running a lot through their 2 guards in Glover, Toscano, and Simpson, I could see them giving Jennings a ton of run for his defense, and he's only $6,100. I don't mind that. Barry Evans yesterday, he was kind of frustrating. He was in my player pool. He's super cheap, $4,800, played 34 minutes, put up 9 DraftKings points. That's really like everything that we're looking for right up until the point total, right? But I'm going to go back to him at $4,800. He plays a ton of minutes. He's pretty much their starting power forward. Last time out against St. Joe's, 21.5. We'll take that. And he's going to be out there. So I don't mind that at all. Lewis and Tracy are kind of these frustrating, like, enigmatic guards that you never really know how much they're going to play. They're decent usage players when they're out there, but you just don't really know what they're going to do. Michael Bell, really good rebounding wing, but he had like his biggest scoring output of the season, or second biggest scoring output of the season against Duquesne last game, 27.8. And he did have a monster game against St. Joe's the first time, 37 DraftKings points in 30 minutes played, 9 for 11 from the field. I wouldn't count on that again, but like, he's 4,300. So you don't need 30 DraftKings points to feel pretty good about him. I think he's absolutely playable. Is he going to be like a core play for me or something like that? No, but he's going to make the pool. $4,300, a guy that's got 30 DraftKings points upside. Definitely worth a look. All right, game number 6. Got 2 games left. Mississippi taking on Arkansas after Mississippi has really been the Cinderella story of the SEC tournament so far. The 15 seed all the way to the semifinals. KenPom has this game as 84-74 in favor of Arkansas. That's a game total of 158 points. Big reason why Ole Miss 233rd in tempo, Arkansas 22nd. So you've got a really big clash in styles here between one team that wants to slow the game all the way down and one team that wants to speed the game all the way up. The last time these two teams played, it was 94-87 in favor of Arkansas, which leads me to believe that Arkansas was the one that controlled the tempo better. So I really think that this is a game that can shoot out also. On the Ole Miss side, one of my biggest complaints about Ole Miss all season long has been the inconsistency of their rotations, right? You just never really know who's going to be playing the minutes for Ole Miss on any given game. Well, they have really sorted through that in recent games in this SEC tournament, if I'm being honest, right? So Travis Perry, who's kind of just a shooter, 30 minutes in back-to-back games, 23 plus DraftKings points in back-to-back games. Is he worth a look at $3,900? I don't think it's super safe. It's a little volatile, but he's playable. The guy I really like is James Scott, though. So they've really played him a lot at the 4 in this stretch. He's not like this big high usage guy. He's a glue guy. He's not going to attempt a ton of shots, but he's a really good rebounder. He will get blocks. He will get steals. He will get assists. And he's playing a ton of minutes all of a sudden. Through the entirety of the season, he played about 17 minutes a game. And now in the SEC tournament, 26, 31, 25. Over 25 DraftKings points in all 3 of them. This is a guy who is going to make my lineups be a pretty big play for me at $4,600, especially considering we love to play bigs against Arkansas, y'all. Like, that's been one thing that we've done consistently all season long is you play your bigs against Arkansas. And so even though he's not like this big scoring threat as a big, he's going to have an opportunity to get a ton of boards, ton of blocks, ton of steals. Like, he's going to be able to just fill up the stat sheet here in this one. The other guy that's seen a big minutes boost recently, Patton Pinkins, but he's not like a big high usage player. The two guys that have really carried this team through the tournament have been AJ Storr and Ilias Carmodine. Storr comes off the bench. I very rarely play him either. He's about $7,000. It's been my issue with Storr ever since when he was at Providence. He doesn't do a whole lot outside of score. And at $6,800, it's hard to hit value when you're just scoring. So he's not my favorite play. But, you know, a game against Arkansas that's a big-time pace-up, who's to say that he won't just come out and all of a sudden put up a ton of peripherals just because there's a ton more opportunities to put up peripherals. So I think that there's an opportunity there for Storr. And then Carmodine, he's been their lead dog through this tournament. He's been the guy who initiates the offense, carries the offense, 21%, 23%, 27% usage in the 3 games. 36, 37, 29 minutes in the 3 games, 27 DraftKings points plus in the 3 games. And now he's got a big pace up. I'm here for Carmodine. I think this is a pretty good spot for him. And then Malik Dia, another guy all season long. One of my big complaints have been you never knew how many minutes he was going to play. And in the SEC tournament, he's been between 24 and 27 minutes, but he's been super high usage when he's out there, right? 40% against Texas, 32% against Georgia, 29% against Alabama. And he's put up 25 DraftKings points in 3 straight. So I don't mind the idea of going back there either. That's probably the only places I would stick with it on this Ole Miss side, though, is just because they're playing a shorter rotation. They're getting a little bit more predictable. I'm not really factoring in any of the guys who are just kind of become tertiary pieces over the course of this SEC tournament run. No, on the Arkansas side, this is another team that they don't play a deep bench at all. They pretty much are just going to play 7 guys. And so that makes them very targetable also. Darius Acuff. If you had any concerns about the ankle injury and maybe him playing less minutes or him being less than 100%, any kind of concern, it's got to go away. Played 40 minutes against Oklahoma, 37 real-life points, 58 DraftKings points. He's the top overall play on the slate. Just, if you ask me who's going to lead the slate in DraftKings scoring, Darius Acuff. And he is going to be a huge part of my lineups. Just, he's going to have to carry this team. And he's going to have to carry this team through the NCAA tournament as well. And I just think he's really good. And he's a guy that is just going to be, he's got an opportunity to really shine today. The counter argument would be if you think that Ole Miss's tempo really slows Arkansas down and forces this into a grinded out game, but that didn't happen the last time these two teams played. In fact, let's go ahead and see what did he score last time these two teams played? 44.5. I'd be okay with that at $9,600. So yeah, Darius Acuff, going to make my lineups today. After that, it's a little bit of a roulette in terms of who it's going to be for Arkansas. Trayvon Brazile. We know that we like bigs against Ole Miss as well. Trayvon Brazile's been pretty good. 36 DraftKings points in the last 3 games. Playing a ton of minutes. The only problem is he's $8,700. So, like, if you're looking to build out a game stack, it's really, really tough to fit both Acuff and Brazile in it. But he's playable. Billy Richmond, $8,000. I don't play him a lot. He's not a high usage player. He's really reliant on peripherals in a high scoring game environment. And I don't really like playing 18% usage guys at $8,000. Malik Thomas, he had the nuke performance against Missouri without Acuff, and he got priced up accordingly because of it. Now that Acuff's back, I don't have as much interest. It's $7,800. Sorry. Malik Ewan is the backup center. He plays more minutes than Nick Pringle. Nick Pringle is not playable in my opinion. Ewan is. Like I said, we like bigs against Ole Miss. Ewan's $5,900. I don't mind it. And then DJ Wagner playing a lot of minutes off the bench. Not as much against Oklahoma now that Acuff is back. I don't know. He's overpriced now to me. So for this Arkansas side, Acuff, Brazile, and Ewan. Don't play Brazile and Ewan together. All right, now last game of the day, we've got Purdue taking on UCLA. And this one is going to be probably the lowest total of this slate. Ken Pom has it projected 78 to 73 in favor of Purdue. That's 151-point total. I don't think it's going to go that high. Purdue's really been slowing down lately, and UCLA is certainly not going to look to push the tempo given their rotational limitations. These two teams have played once already. UCLA won 69 to 67 in LA. That's only 136 points scored, y'all. That's not a lot. So that really kind of, the fact that this is a poor game environment, that really simplifies the options for Purdue, in my opinion, because they pretty much run everything on offense through two guys. And so I'm probably not going to play anybody outside of those two guys. It's Braden Smith and it's Trey Kaufman-Renn. Braden Smith, you're pretty much a stone cold lock for 35 plus minutes. You're pretty much a stone cold lock for 8 assists. And UCLA, I worry about how they're going to defend all the Braden Smith ball screens with no Tyler Bilodeau. More on that in a second. So I think this is a pretty good spot for him. Last time they played, he only put up 24.8, a little bit of a disappointment there, but he's down to $9,000. Nobody's going to play him. I don't know if I'm going to get there or not. Like, looking at the slate as a whole, if I were to rank the slate, the players above 9K, Acuff would be first, Lendeborg second, and then there's probably a pretty big gap. And Smith, Tanner, and Nelson, I could see it going either way. So that's a little bit tricky. I do really like Kaufman-Renn at $7,400, though. He had his little illness, injury, whatever, in the middle of the season. He's back now. He's playing all the minutes now. He's back to being the rebounder he used to be. He's back to being the low post scorer he used to be. I like him. $7,400 against a weak UCLA front court. Sign me up. 26 DraftKings points against them last time is not bad, but definitely sign me up at $7,400. I'm here for him. And like I said, I'm probably not playing anybody else outside of those. I maybe Oscar Clough, who they've all of a sudden in the last 4 games decided he's back to playing 25 plus minutes every time, and he's put up 28 DraftKings points in the last 3. And UCLA's front court's pretty weak. Maybe Oscar Clough at $6,500. Maybe. Lawyer was really good against Nebraska. I don't like playing shot-dependent wings at $5,800. All right, now the UCLA side. This is where it gets juicy. So 2 things here. 1, I don't think Purdue has anybody that can stay in front of Donovan Dent, who has been electric in this tournament. 48, 58 DraftKings points. Last time he played against Purdue, he put up 51. I think he's a very sneaky GPP play, even though this game environment is probably going to be quite bad at $8,100. He's quite sneaky. The Tyler Bilodeau injury is really going to force some changes on this UCLA side. The good news is that we actually have a verifiable sample size of games that UCLA has played without Tyler Bilodeau this season. It was way earlier in the year, but we've seen what their rotations look like. Right? And what they did was you saw boosted usage out of Eric Daly, who put up 44 DraftKings points yesterday, played 34 minutes yesterday. To me, Daly is a really, really solid play at $5,600. Last time they played, Purdue put up 25 DraftKings points. That was with Bilodeau active. We'll take 25 again at this salary. Love Daly on this slate. So he got a boost in usage. Booker and Williams saw huge boosts in minutes. Brandon Williams really played well the last time we had the injury to Bilodeau. Let me find exactly which those were, so that way I'm not misquoting here. So Bilodeau missed California and Presbyterian. Williams played 25 minutes, put up 22 DraftKings points. The Cal game, he did not do so well. But that tells us that with Bilodeau out, Williams is going to play boosted minutes. And then, oh, by the way, yesterday, played 19 minutes and ended up putting up 20 DraftKings points, fantasy point per minute. He's $3,100. He's one of the easiest value clicks of the slate to me because it's such a little bar to clear, and you know he's going to have a minutes floor. He's going to be able to put up some DraftKings points. And then Xavier Booker also saw a pretty big jump in minutes played in those games without Bilodeau. 31 minutes against Cal, 21 DraftKings points. He only played 16 minutes or 13 minutes yesterday. He can really get himself in the coach's doghouse, but they're going to need his size against the Purdue front court. I think there's a lot of upside here for Booker. There's a chance it goes sideways pretty quickly as well, but there's a chance for a lot of upside with Booker at $3,500. I probably wouldn't play Daly, Booker, and Williams all together. I just don't think that there's enough minutes, enough points to go around in this bad game environment for that to be the case. But I do think that all three of them are very playable. And then Sky Clark and Trent Perry, they're going to play a lot of minutes. They're going to jack a lot of shots. You just never really know which one it's going to be, which is kind of annoying. If you wanted to play there, I wouldn't fault you for it. Like, I'm not going to just sit on here and like bash you if you're playing a guy who's going to play 30 plus minutes and has decent peripheral rates, less than $6,000 on a team with a guy that's injured. But I just never really know which one it's going to be. And I'd prefer to not target situations where I don't know what guy it's going to be. But all right, y'all, that is all 7 games on the Saturday main slate. We were fairly efficient there. Got that done in an hour. So if you like what you saw here today, make sure you subscribe, because we're probably going to be going live again later tonight. Depending on when DraftKings drops the slate for the Selection Sunday games, we're either going to be having a live or recorded show talking about those games. So make sure that you subscribe so you can be here with us for that. And then also you'll be with us for the rest of March Madness, because we're going to have a ton of content coming your way next week as well. If you want more from me, go follow me on Twitter at Mike's Money Picks, where I tweet out all updates for the show. Go join the Fantasy Corner Discord. The link is in the description. If you're looking for a community to be a part of where you can just talk DFS, talk strategy all day long, Fantasy Corner Discord is the place for you. And then if you want to get access to my core plays, patreon.com/Mike's Money Picks. Every single college basketball DFS slate, full article, full write-up with my core plays, including this one. I'm about to go write it right now. So if you want access to that, go check that out. But yeah, y'all, this is Selection Sunday Eve. Great slate of basketball games. I'm excited. My Niners are 2 games away from an NCAA tournament berth, so I'm excited to watch that this afternoon. Great day in front of us. Great DFS slate. Let's go have a day, y'all. Hopefully we gave you guys all the information you need in order to build some winning DFS lineups here in this slate. Thank you guys for watching and listening to this point, and I will see you guys next time. Best of luck to you today, y'all.